Hey, what's up, everybody? JayC here, and welcome to another live stream edition. We took last week off, or I took last week off, I should say, but back this week. And mainly, I figure the topic on a lot of you guys' minds is tomorrow's Hasbro Marvel Legends HasLab announcement. And whether it will be Ghost Rider, whether it'll be Robbie Reyes and his muscle car, or something else, or maybe Robbie Reyes and something else, I don't know. But I figure that's the big news of the week, definitely. Of course, PulseCon is at the end of the month, and so we'll be getting a lot of stuff then. But before we really kind of jump into it, let's just take a roll call and see who is here. So I see Everett is in the house. Continuing to give his thoughts on what characters he wants to see done for Marvel Legends. And he's got a lot of them. Michael's in the house. Blake is in the house. Lord Venger is in the house. CM Brock's in the house. What's up? Paul's in the house. 3M is in the house. Ruben, what's up? So... yeah, looks like we got a fairly good good crowd here tonight. T-Glow. I wouldn't go quite that far refreshed, but I definitely, I'm feeling pretty good. Chris is in the house. What's up? Chris CH, RIS is in the house. What's up? Coco. Rashid. So, yeah, so what do you guys think? Are we all on the same page that we feel that tomorrow's HasLab, the primary item for tomorrow's HasLab is going to be Robbie Reyes' Ghost Rider and his car? Or do we think Hasbro's going to throw us a curveball and do something else? Or maybe something along with that? I'm more inclined to think something, either it is just going to be Robbie Reyes and his car, or maybe something along with that. But I definitely kind of feel like Robbie Reyes and his car will be part of the HasLab. So your guys' thoughts, what do you think? Are you excited for that if that's what it is? If it's Robbie Reyes and his car, are you going to be backing it? I think the other big question probably most people have is going to be the price. If it is just the car and the figure, I would hope it's not really much more than $250. For me, if it is just Robbie Reyes in the car, if it was more than $250, it would be a hard sell for me personally, just because I'm not that huge of a fan of Robbie Reyes in the car. I would rather, if it was my choice with Ghost Rider, I would rather have it be, Danny and his bike, but that's just me. Ruben says, what do I think about the furry alligator? Well, I don't have it in hand from the images. It looks like a nice figure, kind of expensive, but that's kind of just par for the course these days. Coco looking for Schuma Gorath. I don't think it'll be Schuma Gorath, but who knows? Maybe it'll be as an add-in. Maybe they'll do like a Marvel versus Capcom sized version. Mephisto definitely would increase my interest in the project. Orb, he's kind of a unique bad guy, so if it was Mephisto and the Orb, that would definitely go a long way. If it was just the Orb, I don't know, but definitely Mephisto would increase my interest, if that ended up being one of the stretch goals. Thickman has no interest in Ghost Driver. I don't know if that was a typo or you meant to say it that way. Everett, what does Mojo look like? He's a big, fat, yellow blob kind of guy who walks around on robotic legs. So if there was a picture of the word glutton, I feel like Mojo would be a good fit for that. I don't know if you've ever watched like the X-Men animated series, the old one on Fox, but you know, they had a few episodes with him on there, and you know, the way he talked on there, you know, to me fit the character to a T. Blake, yes, I keep the sound down on all the games unless I'm playing them. If I'm playing them, I'll turn the sound up. But yeah, I would not leave the sound up on all those games behind me during the day. It would get annoying. And they just all of them have little volume buttons, so you know it's really easy to turn the volume up and down. Twin Station. If it was like a combo of at least you know Robbie Reyes and his car and Dan and his motorcycle, that would definitely interest me. I mean, we've got multiple Johnny Blazes, so I don't know if it's hard to see them doing another Johnny Blaze since they've got the first one they did with the bike, and then they've got this new one on the retro card back without the bike coming. I feel like they're not going to do another Blaze figure in the HasLab. So, but you know, the Danny Ketch is my favorite, so that's the one I would like to see with his bike, and that definitely would increase my interest in the HasLab significantly if he was part of this. And then, you know, but I've my gut, and it's just a gut feeling, says it's probably just going to be Robbie Reyes in his car, but I don't know. Coco says a Nick Cage Blaze. Bean says he is out on the HasLab because he is not a fan of Ghost Rider. I really, however this goes down, I really feel like this is going to be the Marvel Legends brand team's toughest HasLab to get backed. Now, again, a lot will depend on price and then how many backers that they're requiring. If they keep the price on the lower end, again, I'm saying around $250, I definitely will have an easier time of getting backed. And then again, it will depend a little bit on how many backers they're actually requiring. But, you know, compared to Galactus and the Sentinel that we've gotten already from them, I feel like this is not going to be nearly as popular as those last two HasLab. So I definitely feel like they've kind of got their work cut out for them on this one to get it fully funded and then to get through all the stretch goals. Yeah, Galactus. That was other big news this week. Is it looks like Galactus is going to start shipping soon. Originally, well, not maybe originally, but you know, like a month or so ago, they were saying November. The Galactus wasn't going to start shipping until November, and now looks like it's going to start shipping much sooner than that. So everybody isn't going to get it at the same time, but hopefully, you know, maybe within the next month we'll be sitting here talking about Galactus and looking at that in hand. When I mean I agree. I agree with you, like maybe a triple pack with all three Ghost Riders, and maybe even if you want to throw in Vengeance with his bike too, would be kind of an interesting set. That obviously would increase the price much more, but again, I go back to they've already done, you know, Johnny Blaze twice, so I won't say it's impossible they couldn't throw him in another version into the HasLab, but yeah, a combo set, you know, celebrating like all the Ghost Riders, I feel like would be more interesting than just Robbie Reyes and his car. Yes, only thing going to be revealed tomorrow in the live stream is the HasLab, nothing else. And like 2 weeks later at PulseCon, we'll get all the other reveals. But tomorrow's live stream for Hasbro Marvel Legends is all about the HasLab. They always dedicate when they do a live stream to announce the HasLab. They always dedicate like the live stream to just that, basically. So have they done a Ghost Rider 2099? I don't remember Ghost Rider 29. I mean, I'm sure they have, but like, give me Punisher 2099, give me Doctor Doom 2099. We've already obviously got Spider-Man 2099. Yeah, real chains like Johnny Blaze, another Johnny Blaze with like real chains and stuff. Yeah, I mean they could definitely give us a better Johnny Blaze and a better bike. They could definitely do a better job on the bike than the one we got previously. So no doubt about it, but I don't know. If they were gonna do Johnny Blaze in this set, I feel like they wouldn't be releasing that retro card back version right now at least. They'd probably wait until later to do the retro card back one. That's my personal feeling anyway. I mean, who knows? I hope Mephisto, maybe Blackheart. Somebody mentioned Orb, one of Ghost Rider's villains. So they did show a gun, back during San Diego Comic-Con, they showed a little ray gun that, could have fit for the Orb character. So whether it's in the HasLab or as a separate figure, we could be getting Orb here at some point. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Hasbro, I mean, obviously Spider-Man 2099, which is, kind of just like Miles Morales broke out of the 2099 universe, but I agree. I would love to see other 2099 characters get the figure treatment, not just Spider-Man. What are my thoughts on the Mystique digital render debacle? I guess that one missed me. I assume what the package image doesn't look the same as the figure. I mean, we saw what was the other one they did that with? One of the ones that had showed on the package without pins, and then on the pack one of the recent figures and then had pins. I mean, you got to take the packaging is, I mean, ugly to begin with, but I mean, those are digital renders. The thing is they show you the figure multiple times, the actual figure itself, not just the packaging. So, I mean, I don't feel like they're really trying to be deceitful there. They're just using, early concept digital art. I think they should get away from that period and just do artwork on the packaging like they do with Transformers and stuff. I hate, and I'm not even talking about the whole windowless, issue and swappers and all. Right, I feel like the new packaging for Marvel Legends is just ugly. If you're gonna go windowless, give us some really cool artwork. I mean, on some of the exclusive figures they've done that, but I feel like they should do that with all the figures. Is give us just cool artwork. Don't try and show us a picture of the figure on the front of the packaging like that's supposed to be the window or something. Truck says he's over all the crying about Marvel Legends. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. There's a lot of negativity in the hobby these days, especially towards Marvel Legends, and I don't know why per se. I mean, I don't I feel like people are still buying Marvel Legends, but yeah, whenever I go to one of the Facebook groups or something, it's just like, just people are complaining. And I mean, I understand, people don't like the prices, and I know people don't like the windowless packaging, but yeah, well, I don't know if tacky is the word that comes to mind, but it is ugly. I just, the Marvel guys need to go talk to the Transformer guys, and get some tips on how to do packaging, because the Transformer packaging and the artwork that they've been featuring even before they went windowless was so much better than like most of the other action figure lines that they do. I mean, for me personally, I don't care that much, because generally I'm going to open the figure. Like, this is my first. Yeah, well, I have the Silk and Doc Ock 2-pack as well, but this is my first main windowless package Marvel Legend figure, which I just got today from Amazon. So this is really the only of those 60th anniversary Spider-Man figures. This is the only one that has really interested me, is the Iron Spider-Man figure. So I got it online, so I don't have to worry about there being something else inside than what's portrayed here. Um, but I haven't opened it yet. But my I just but this is ugly. This just really ugly. So give us some cool artwork, like the art, like featuring him like sitting over Captain America's shield, like when this figure was, or this version of Spider-Man was first introduced in the comics. Recreate that or something. I mean, the artwork that Joe Quesada did was really cool. So give us something cool like that. And says Legends have been sitting I have not. I mean, in physical stores, like my Walmart has no Marvel. Like, I was just at Walmart and Target today, my local stores. Walmart had no Marvel Legends at all, and Target had a few of the X-Men wave, the latest X-Men wave, and that was it. So I don't know. I don't know if they're just not stocking very well, or what, but of course my stores suck anyway, so they never have anything. I don't know if you guys saw the story yesterday. It was posted by a local CBS channel up in New York, about the state trooper who got busted for toy swapping. They didn't say what toy it was, so I don't know if it was like, a Marvel Legend, or what it was, but I thought it was funny that well, it was sad that it was a state trooper who was doing the swapping, but that he got busted, suspended, and has been brought up on charges. Daniel, do I think Hasbro would ever do single release of vehicles, no accompanying figure, and retro packaging? Ghost Rider Spike, for example. Uh, I mean, anything's possible, but no, I don't really see them doing just vehicles, especially in retro packaging. Um, if they ever did, my number one choice would be the Punisher van. The one, like the one that Toy Biz did back in the day. But I don't see that happening really. Oh, Michael, go over to Marvelous News. You can read about it. We post about it over there. Have I ever swapped a figure? I have not. I've come across them, I even like when swapping was a new thing, and like I'd go into my Walmart. I forget what it was. It was some DC set universe set from Mattel. It was like an exclusive set at Walmart, and somebody had swapped out. I think they had put some wrestling figures in the set. So I took it up to the the front counter and said, "Hey, this is not the product that's supposed to be in here. Somebody has basically removed the figures and put something else in here." And so they took it, they sat it in their little bin behind them. 2 days later, I go back to the Walmart, and there it is again, sitting out on the shelf. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So at that point, I was like, they don't even give a crap. They're just going to try and resell it because they're trying to get their money back from it. So at that point, if I just see a swap figure, I just walk by it. But I that was like, to me, it was just like ridiculous. I mean, it's one thing if it slips by you. I understand the people who get those returns and such don't really know what's supposed to be in there. But when somebody brings it up to you and says, "Hey, this is incorrect. You're selling bad merchandise," and they take it, they just put it back on the shelf. That just pissed me off. John, I have before, like a long time ago, but I mean, honestly, I don't think it's very exciting to watch going into an aisle and seeing essentially empty pegs, which is what you find at my local Walmart. So I just don't live in an area that is conducive to doing toy hunt, very good toy hunt videos. Um, like I said, I feel like you guys, just like me, get frustrated enough when you go into your own store seeing empty shelves. You don't need to see a video of me going into my store and saying, "Oh, look, here's an empty shelf with nothing on there." No, Jerry, you're right. Toy Biz Marvel Legends, of course, you did have to sometimes get stitches after you tried to open the packaging on the Toy Biz figures, but you're right. Swapping was definitely not an issue back in the Toy Biz days. I have cut myself on Toy Biz packaging before. When you cut them open with scissors and they leave the sharp edges. Like says, saw a video clip. Somebody found 5 retaped reverse Spider-Man in the blind box. Curtis, a vintage Ghost Rider on horse. Except technically that's not considered Ghost Rider, but I agree. I wouldn't mind seeing that one. What's up, Henry? Jerry just got Ahsoka from the Mandalorian. So I to go with my Spider-Man figure, I also off Amazon got the Saul Guerrero figure. They did a good job with this one. They did a good job of capturing the likeness of Forrest Whitaker. Chuck says, "Does anyone know how to block YouTube channels?" Hopefully, you're not talking about my channel, Chuck. Unsubscribe is definitely something you can do, and generally, unless you're watching, like I know when you watch somebody's video, then you'll start to see their videos pop up, but have I ever hidden a figure so I could come back later for it? I'm trying to think. I won't swear that I've never done that before. If I have, it's like maybe it was like a long time ago on a rare occasion. But I can't say definitively that I've never done that before. I've gone looking around, like I'll look under the, you can pull up the shelves at places like Target and stuff. In Toys R Us, you could look up at the top, like in the top section. So I would always go around and look in those areas to see if I could find the figure that I was looking for, see if someone else had hidden it. Though my thought always was, if you're gonna hide a figure, don't hide it in the toy section. Go to some other area in the store, and hide it. But I have found on a rare occasion where somebody had hidden something in the toy section. Omega, thoughts on the Andor show? It looks interesting. I'm definitely going to give it a try. I mean, I like Rogue One, so I feel like, if it gives us more background on the actual formation of the rebellion, then I think that could be interesting. So I'm willing to give it a try. I mean, I'm more interested in seeing the next season of Mandalorian than Andor, but I definitely will give it a try. Yeah, Omega. Unfortunately, I don't think that's in the cards, especially since like Jada Toys is doing Street Fighter figures, 6-inch Street Fighter figures and such. I feel like if they were going to do Marvel versus Capcom figures, at least like and I assume you mean the actual Capcom figures, not just like Marvel versions of the characters that appear in the game. Like, I could see them doing like the Iron Man figure, the modular Iron Man figure with brighter colors, and maybe even like a proton cannon on retro card back. So I could see them doing Marvel figures that are in keeping with the game, but I don't think they're going to do actual like Capcom or Street Fighter characters um, in 6-inch form. Since I believe they have phased out even the small windows, even on the Fortnite stuff, I would say at least no for now. You know, if if the packaging, people sit online and complain a lot about it, but you know, the only way they might reverse course on that packaging, and they already did a little bit. I mean, they basically said, with the retro style packaging, it will continue to have plastic. So, it might be we see a lot more figures done with the retro card backs. But but the only way they would reverse course on the windowless packaging is if it truly started to, they started to see it affecting their sales. And I got to be honest, as much as people complain online, I'm not seeing a lot of people or truly like quit collecting because of the windowless packaging. I certainly, like I said, I haven't seen a lot of Marvel Legends just sitting on the shelves. Now, part of that may be because stores are still not getting a lot of stock in, but but to answer your question, because they phased out the small windows even on the Fortnite stuff, I would say probably not. Thor 2941 would love to see YouTube influencer figures to see who will porn. You mean like action figures of YouTube influencers? Uh, I if I was being honest with you, I wouldn't buy them. I wouldn't even buy my own figures. So, of course, I'm sure everyone's gonna have their own selfie figure made. So, who knows? Maybe they'll try and sell them. Daniel, I am not. I would imagine, since those are characters that appeared in that video game. I forget the game off the top of my head, but there's a game where those skins of those characters, the Street Fighter characters, popped up a Power Ranger game. That whatever ones that they have not done figures for that were in that game would be the ones that they're going to do. So I'm not, I just don't follow Power Rangers enough. I know there's a game out there. I know that's what those Street Fighter designs are based off of, but I don't know exactly how many characters appeared in that game. But go find that game, go find out which characters appeared in the game, and that would probably give you the answer to your question. Matt, did I pick up the new Playmates 2022 Star Trek figures and the Enterprise at Target? I did not. I haven't seen them at Target. Like they were not at my Target today, but they are available on Amazon. And I was looking at the new updated promo images that Amazon had up this morning. And most of them do not look that good. The face likenesses don't look that good, the figures. And my other thing about those is I honestly at this stage don't have a lot of confidence in Playmates finishing out like the entire cruise. Like for instance, the Star Trek Wrath of Khan figures. If I thought we were going to end up getting the entire crew in that scale, then I might go on and get those. Those I think were the best looking of the bunch. But I don't have a lot of confidence that Playmates is actually going to finish out all the crews that they're doing. The next gen, those next gen figures did not look very good at all. The face likenesses, especially like on Riker, oh, that looked horrible. It looked like Wesley Crusher with a beard. So I'm the nostalgia, the packaging is cool. Even having the little lasers attached to the phasers, at least on the next gen figures. The Discovery figures, like I have no interest in those versions. If they give us more modern Discovery figures, like in the outfits that they're currently wearing in the newest season. But season 1 outfit, I mean, season 1 was so long ago, and like they've well moved on past that in the series. So the fact that they were, I feel like their choices of figures to me were kind of weird. Like they did the Wrath of Khan figures, but they gave us the original series Enterprise. What if you're gonna do Wrath of Khan figures, then give us the Wrath of Khan Enterprise. Now I have the Wrath of Khan Enterprise that I have the Diamond Select toy one, so I'm pretty good on that front. I have the original Enterprise too, so I don't feel a need to rebuy those. But it was just like weird choices. But basically, I was thinking about that this morning when I was looking at them on Amazon. I was like, you know what? I don't see much reason to get invested in these because I just don't have a lot of confidence they're going to give us like all the crews and stuff. Data was probably the best of the next gen figures, and they did get at least like they got like the eyes. They did a pretty good job with the eyes and the eye coloring and stuff. Riker was the worst. Like I said, if you look at that, go look at that Riker figure, and like to me, it looks like Wesley Crusher with a beard. Lord Vengar, you gotta understand Playmates' mindset. They're always more interested in trying to get to the kids. So I think they wanted to keep the price range low. I think the figures cost $12 each. Whereas if they were like 6 or 7 inch figures, they would cost $25. So I'm not saying it's smart, but I feel like that's why they went with the smaller scale. Plus, if they ever did like say like a bridge playset, I mean back in the day they did a really really cool Enterprise D bridge playset. So if they did something like that, 5-inch figures would definitely be more in keeping with those. But I think it's just keeping the price down on them is why they went with the scale and everything. Jerry got himself Usagi. That's a great figure. That is one of NECA's best figures, that Usagi Jumbo. I got the animated series Toka and Razar. I got it. I actually found it at my local Target store a couple days before it went up on the website. So I have not gotten the others. Like I have not gotten the neutrinos or the turtle gang or the Zack and Smash. Like I have not gotten I haven't seen those in the store, but I haven't tried to pre-order those or anything. I don't think I'm gonna get those. I think I'm kind of like on my turtles. I think, I've kind of reached. I'll get a few characters here and there, but I'm definitely gonna be getting more choosy on the turtle stuff. Thunderbolts. So the movie, they announced the cast for the movie, the main team lineup for the movie this past weekend at D23. Have they announced Marvel Legend figures? No, not yet. I can tell you that it's a given that they will be doing, figures from that movie, of course. But I mean, that movie's not due out until for a while now. That's the final movie in Phase 5, the Thunderbolts. So no figures have been announced for that, but they will definitely be doing figures for those. But they've already done figures of all the teammates except for Val. So I did this image. Pop over. This is on my Instagram account, but I posted up this image, or I threw these together. This kind of recreating the so this is the image they showed during the D23 convention. So this obviously is just concept artwork, but we've got Ghost, we've got Taskmaster, we've got short hair Bucky Barnes, we've got, well, I've got U.S. Agent. The one that Hasbro did sucked, so they'll need to redo the U.S. Agent. You can kit bash, the new Black Widow, if you've got like previous versions of Black Widow along with the one of this version of Black Widow's sister, so you can take the head sculpt from the because the one they did, the Marvel Legend one they did has the white out, the Arctic outfit, but so no, they have not officially announced Marvel Legends, but they will be coming definitely. But well, I'll be honest with you. The thing I liked most about the Thunderbolts announcement this weekend was basically that my boy U.S. Agent is going to be in it. I will tell you that it's kind of, the team is definitely shield thrower heavy. So we've got U.S. Agent, though still not carrying a shield here. We've got Taskmaster, he's got a shield. We've got Red Guardian, which is wearing a new outfit and doesn't look like has a shield, but obviously Red Guardian is a Captain America type character. So we've got like 3 shield wielders on the team, plus Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier. So it's very heavy on the Johnson should have put Zemo in there. I wouldn't be surprised if Zemo doesn't show up in the movie. Um, Abomination, I know a lot of people were hoping for Red Hulk, but obviously the actor who played Ross passed away, so I feel like Red Hulk is not very feasible now. But Abomination, which I feel like they've kind of set up in the She-Hulk series, I definitely feel like could end up being added to the team, because the team is definitely missing a big strong guy type character. So Abomination, I feel like, could end up on this team. And because we don't have Val, they haven't given us Val yet. I, I took my GI Joe classified Baroness and made some modifications as my kind of Val fill-in for the team for now. I really hope that U.S. Agent pops up in the new Captain America movie. Before Thunderbolts. New World Order. So I hope we see U.S. Agent in the new Cap movie, and I do hope that they give him a shield. They need to give him a shield. Yeah, I agree. And I wouldn't have been. I would, if William Hurt was still alive, I feel like they might have gone the Red Hulk route. They could recast him, I guess, but I feel like, at least for now, there's a better chance that we'll end up seeing like Abomination in the movie than like Red Hulk. And then the news also, interesting news out of the D23 convention was that the leader, the guy who played the leader in the Hulk movie, the original Hulk movie, not the original Hulk movie, but the MCU tied Hulk movie. We saw him at the end of that movie and then never saw him again. But he's gonna end up being in the Captain America movie. So that's kind of interesting that we're gonna see the leader. I don't know if he'll be the leader, but uh but the actor who played essentially the character of the leader is going to be in that movie. Roth is too good to waste on the She-Hulk. Use him in T-Bolts. Beans. Well, Sam Elliott's getting up there in the getting pretty old. I don't know if they were going to recast Thunderbolt. I think they'd probably go with somebody a little bit younger. Legend. How much do I think the HasLab will cost? Well, we talked about that a little bit earlier, but assuming if it is just Robbie Reyes and his car as the main offering, not talking about stretch goals, but just that's it as far as the main offering, then I would not want to see it more than $250. Anything higher than that, I probably would not. I, I'm not. I am on the fence right now. If that's what it ends up being, I am not 100% in on the HasLab. If it was just Robbie Reyes in the car and the cost was $250, and then we got some really good stretch goals like a Mephisto and a Blackheart, something like that, I probably would go on and get it. But Robbie Reyes in the car by itself does not interest me that much. I wouldn't have space for it. Um, and so it would that would usually with these HasLabs, I'm in regardless of what the stretch goals are. It's always good when we get good stretch goals to add value to it, but generally when I back it, I'm in regardless of whatever the stretch goals are. But on this one, if it is just Robbie Reyes in his car, it would really take. It would need to be a fairly reasonable price, which to me puts it around $250. We'll give it a window, 250 to 300. But I really would rather see it closer to 250 than 300. But but and then the stretch goals would have to really be the selling point for me, like a Mephisto and something like that. If it's just Robbie Reyes in the car and the stretch goals don't interest me, I probably will not back this one. What's up, Renegade Biker? I just got a text. Somebody told me the Hush Superman and Justice League. I'm not sure what they mean by Justice League figures. They're in stock at McFarlane's store. Coco says they need to put Schuma Gorath. Well, again, so Coco, if they put a Schuma Gorath in that's the size that appears in like the Marvel versus Capcom game, would that make you happy, or do you need like a really big giant Schuma Gorath? See, I could see them maybe doing like a Schuma Gorath the size that he appears in the Marvel versus Capcom game as like maybe a stretch goal, but I wouldn't see them doing like a really big giant Schuma Gorath. Now, if they do Schuma Gorath, that is actually part of the HasLab, that would be a different story to me, but I, I, I would be very surprised if that's what they end up doing. What's up, Sean? Sean says either way it'll be 500 Canadian. Yeah, we didn't get Ilana from Hawkeye, but that's what I was saying. Like you could take if you took the Black Widow from the Infinity War, the Black Widow figure that they released in the Infinity War that has the jacket that Ilana wears, and then you take the Ilana head sculpt from the Black Widow movie and you put it on that figure, I think that would give you a pretty good version of her. Legendary. I agree. I agree. I don't see them doing. HasLab is probably going to be the best way to get Mephisto. If they do if the main HasLab is Robbie Reyes in his car and the cost is $250, and then one of the stretch goals that assuming it got unlocked was Mephisto, I would 99% probably back it. But Renegade Biker, put a video on your channel, Snake Eyes and Timber diorama called Snake Eyes PVC diorama. I've had some issues with. Yeah, figures that are all black like Snake Eyes can be a pain in the butt with the lighting. Best bet is to go with a lighter background. At least that's my experience. What's up from the Philippines, John? Watcher. I'm sure we'll get Echo when the Echo series comes out, so Coco says would buy the HasLab for Mephisto, just for Mephisto. Mephisto would be the main selling point to me. I mean, that's basically saying you're going to spend 250 or more for just Mephisto, but so I wouldn't quite go that far, but it would definitely be the main selling point. I'd be much more interested in Mephisto than I would be Robbie Reyes. Well, that should be tomorrow, Chuck, so hopefully you got your money ready. The live stream's at 11 a.m., and the live stream will probably go either live at 11 or 12 noon, like right after the live stream. But I'm expecting the HasLab to go live tomorrow, so whatever it is. A first appearance Daredevil, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I I haven't watched today's She-Hulk, so I don't know if Daredevil shows up in today's episode or not, but I'm curious to see. if they explain, I mean, from my understanding, even though it's the same actor and everything, it is not like a continuation of the Netflix Daredevil. So I'm assuming we're supposed to treat this version of Daredevil as a totally new character, not the Daredevil from the Netflix series. So I don't know if they're starting him off in the yellow outfit and he'll eventually, like when we get to his own series, will graduate into the more traditional outfit. But I'm sure. I mean, we've got Daredevil coming in the She-Hulk series. We've got Daredevil coming in the Echo series, and then we have his own series coming. So, I definitely feel like Daredevil figures will be coming. Renegade, yeah, a light. If you got a light blue background, that will probably will do work pretty well with a black figure. I think it's the whole devil aspect, but I mean, I definitely think it in today's world it's more feasible than like maybe 10 years, 20 years ago. But Mephisto is essentially Satan, and so a toy company that's still regarded as a kids company, a company that makes product for kids, doing a action figure of Satan is probably not going to play well, you know, in the media if somebody chose to make an issue of it. So DA Radar says, hope they do Daredevil with a new Vulcan body. That would seem to be the most logical choice. Chuck. Um, it varies. I right now I primarily use a DSL Canon camera, but and the mic I use is this HyperX mic that I use like in the using right now basically. And I have a review studio with lights and setup like right here. So, and I actually more recently, I mean, I don't do a lot of reviews these days anyway, but like right now, I've got a monitor set up here that I use like a lot of digital backgrounds these days. I've been experimenting with that more. I like white backgrounds, but they're a pain in the ass because like the background always ends up looking dingy. I'm sure if the Netflix stuntman said that, I'm sure they'll be able to find another stuntman for him. You saw Vulcan, Siren, and Sabretooth for $12. I saw those figure. Yeah, I think I saw all three of those figures at Target today, but I don't think they were $12. I think they were full price. She Hulk just gets. I, She Hulk. I mean, like, I take She Hulk for what it is. I mean, it. It's supposed to be a spoof kind of deal. So, and it's definitely written with a female point of view, which I don't have a huge problem with. So, I I won't sit here and say, "Oh my God, I've been dying to see every episode of She-Hulk." I eagerly await the next episode. I don't, but I haven't sat there and go, oh my god, this is the worst thing I've ever watched. Though I will say the whole Wongers got started to grate on me a little bit. I think that was last week's episode, but you know, like I don't take it seriously. I don't. It's not like I don't watch that and go, oh my god, they ruined Wong because they made him like, you know, look so ridiculous. It's, you know, these characters are done in a more of a lighthearted way, which is how the, you know, I think the best-selling She-Hulk comic book, that's how they portrayed the character, and that's how they're doing this series. So I don't sit there and say, oh my god, they're ruining everything with this series. I take it for what it is. You know, we get, you know, like I said, we've reintroduced Abomination to the MCU, so that's a good thing. You know, regardless of how good he is in this series, you know, he's back. So that's what I take the series for. I like the She-Hulk character. I actually like, I think the actress who plays She-Hulk has done a fairly good job. And so put her in a little more serious environment, and I definitely, you know, if we saw her pop up in like a future Avengers movie or something, I definitely think she would be a good addition. So, but just like in the comic books, you know, not every single comic that is released is done as like super serious and all that. So I kind of take it for what it is. Um, well, Coco, you say feminist garbage, but yeah, it's written in the point of view of a female. But what's wrong with that? Why is it bad to do a series that might appeal more to women or what have you? You know, it doesn't have to, every single thing that they do so much Marvel stuff these days. Every single series does not have to be written specifically for us as the primary demographic. I just, you know, I just, you know, it doesn't bother me when they do that. So, you know, that's just me anyway. John says She-Hulk wasn't as disappointing as the D3 Expo. Are you talking about the news that came out of the D3 Expo, or are you talking about the expo itself? Like, you attended it and you didn't think it was very good? I will tell you, like, I saw during the weekend, somebody, you know, people kept passing around, like I would see it come up on my Facebook wall, this image that somebody had photoshopped that was like, the cast of the Fantastic Four has been announced with Henry, you know, Cavill as Doctor Doom. And like, and people were passing around like it was legitimate news. And I'm like, first of all, they started passing it around on Saturday, or on Friday, I mean. The Marvel panel wasn't until Saturday. So if there was going to be a Fantastic Four cast announcement, it wouldn't be until Saturday anyway. So that right off was the big giveaway that it was bullshit. But I feel like the people that were passing this around like it was legitimate news was like, did you bother to check this news at all to see if it was legit? Like, did you go to any major entertainment news website like a Variety or the Hollywood Reporter or anything along those lines that has a shred of credibility to see if this, because if there was the Fantastic Four cast announcement, I guarantee you every single major news publication would have covered it. It wouldn't be some podunk website or person on Instagram that made that announcement. So I feel like it's like people just don't even bother to check the information. They see something they like and they start running with it. And so like if you saw that and you thought that was real and you got excited and then were like disappointed, I mean, you only got yourself to blame for that. So, you know, when it comes, I mean, rumors and things are, you know, it's a fine line. You know, obviously, you know, I don't do movie rumors, but, you know, we talk about action figure rumors. But I use the word rumor when I bring you guys information. I use the word rumor simply because it's not been officially confirmed by like the company in question. But I've done my due diligence to confirm it as best as possible before I bring that information to you. I don't just go and like post every single rumor that comes across my computer screen. Um, so you know, and if you're going to listen to movie rumors, you should really find credible, not just listen to some guy who runs into a Facebook group and posts something. you know Go find credible sources for movies, and listen to them and only to them if you're going to follow rumors. But if you're just going to follow, if you're going to believe everything that comes across, that anybody posts on, Instagram or Facebook or whatever, without doing any kind of like, hey, what's your source? And that's the thing that always amazes me. Like, people would post this image and nobody would be like, people were just like, oh really, that's awesome. Nobody was like, what's your source for this information? Like this random guy on Facebook had got this huge inside scoop of what the Fantastic Forecast was going to be, and people just believed it. I mean, I don't know. Coco, Man Thing re-release coming. Well, we did get a glimpse of Man Thing in that Werewolf by Night trailer that they released this weekend, so well, fan cast, I mean, it's one thing to say, oh, this would be a really cool, I would love to see these actors cast in the movie. That's one thing. But it's another when I mean, people pass around fake news all the time because they're looking for attention. You know, the guy who posted, that image, and I don't know how many of you saw, I saw like 3 different people on Facebook post that Fantastic Four image this weekend, and like not one time did I see anybody question it. Now, I will admit that the image itself looked pretty real. It looked like something you might see from like a D23 convention, but without questioning it whatsoever. I mean, people just believed it hook, line, and sinker, and it's like, it always amazes me how easily people will not question, like, what's your source? Where did you get this information from? You know, how do we know that what you're telling us is true? I mean, it's just like, I don't know. For me, I'm always questioning things, so I always like to know, where someone gets their information, especially when it's just reposted on Facebook. And if the answer is, well, my buddy posted it on Instagram, so that's where I got it from, that's not really the source of the information. My Well, at the very least, it wouldn't be until the next Disney Plus wave, which wouldn't be released until next year. You're right. I mean, we already know we've got the Ultron Build-A-Figure wave, and then we've got the wave they just announced, um, with the Moon Knight Build-A-Figure wave. So, and that, it was technically supposed to be released this year. I don't know if it will be, but but yes, the next Disney Plus wave isn't going to be released until next year. So definitely, if there's a Werewolf by Night figure coming, it won't be until next year. 3M. Well, technically, those weren't really announced at D23. We got better looks at those figures, but they had previewed those figures, I want to say during San Diego or at some previous event, but we had seen those figures already. We just got better images released during D23. The only thing new from McFarlane that was actually revealed were those Avatar figures. Well, Coco, that's not entirely true. A rumor can be verified. When I bring you information, I've verified it from various sources. Hasbro, like a Marvel Legend rumor. When I say like a Marvel Legend rumor, I've verified it from a number of sources, so I feel fairly confident that it is something that is legit. Now, Hasbro hasn't come out and officially announced it, so that's why I still use the word rumor when I report stuff like that. But it's not like some guy just told me this figure was coming, and so I'm now reporting that to you. No, there are definitely ways you can verify information. People develop actual reliable sources and things like that, whether it's movies, action figures, or what have you. So there are ways. I mean, not always. Sometimes, and some things can be verified better than others, and sometimes things change, especially, when I give you a rumor report for something that doesn't get released until like next year, it's possible something could change. But it's not, there are definitely more credible sources. There are people that actually have, people in the entertainment industry that they can go to and get like a confirmation that this is fairly legit. As opposed to the guy that's just speculating or making shit up just so that they can get extra traffic for their either social media account, their YouTube channel, or their website. I can pass on the Avatar. Yeah, I'm not an Avatar fan. I did not like the original Avatar movie. Obviously the big thing about the original movie was, it was the first movie done in the modern 3D, but I thought the movie sucked, and I have no interest in action figures for that movie. So, yeah, those will be easy pass figures for me. Author, it's more like a social media world because, I mean, that's what it is. It's social media. People, spread things on social media. They don't really bother to verify their information. You know, it, Most people that pass stuff around on Instagram and stuff, at most they might find someone else who's reposted it. Like, I don't know how many times I'll see somebody post something and they'll say, "Oh, well, this guy posted it." And then I'll go to that guy and I'll say, "So is this your image?" And they're like, "No, I just reposted it from another site." They're not the actual source, but it just, and I do my best. Like when somebody posts an image for something, I will go to that person. I'll say, "Hey, because if it is their image, I want to get their permission before I repost it. And then B, I also just want to confirm that it is their image and not somebody else's image." So I will often, reach out to the person on social media and say, "Hey, is this your image?" or what have you. But I don't think most people do that. I think at most, they might see someone else post it and then they'll repost it and they might credit that guy. But and that's what usually happens. People are like, "Oh, if I post this image, then people will credit me for the image and I'll get attention or I'll get more followers or I'll get, whatever motivates them to post stuff on these social media accounts." But I feel like very few people take that much time to actually try and verify the legitimacy of stuff. But on the flip side of that, I also don't see a lot of people holding those people, accountable, saying, "Hey, what's your source? Hey, how do we know this is reliable information? Hey, where did you get this information?" When I see people do that, most people are just, "Oh, that's really cool," or and they don't, like, they just assume it's their image or whatever. Coco, Cavill, I agree. Cavill would be an interesting Doom, a younger Doom, I would say, but he definitely, like, if you've ever read the original Secret Wars limited series, and Doom, fixed his, when he got the Beyonder's powers, he fixed his face. You know, his face was very Cavill like, so he's maybe a little tall for Doom, but yeah, I think he would be a pretty good Doom. I feel like Cavill's schedule might be a little too full to take on a role like that. Between like Witcher, and then of course there's rumors that he's also returning as Superman, in the DC universe and stuff. So I I think he would be a good choice, but I'm not sure his schedule would permit it. Well, the mech itself, I think, stands about 7 inches tall, if you're talking about the McFarlane one. But the figure that fits inside of that mech is only about 5 inches. But I think the reasoning behind that is, and it's been so long since I watched the Avatar movie, but I think the Avatar characters are supposed to be taller than normal human beings. And so like a 7 inch Avatar, like a to a human character in scale with a 7 inch Avatar character, I guess would be around 5 inches. So I think that's the reasoning behind it. But yes, the mech would not hold a 7 inch or probably not even a 6 inch scale figure. I Yeah, Cavill I guess could do Wonder Man. I don't like Wonder Man enough. Like I feel like Cavill's too good of an actor to be a Wonder Man, but I've never been a huge Wonder Man fan. Jerry's saying we did potato, but you can ask it. I'm not sure what that's on. He wants Crimson Dynamo, yeah. I mean, we've got things like Armor Wars coming. We've got Ironheart. I mean, I could see them working a Crimson Dynamo in possibly. Exotic Carfax ordered the He-Man 4-pack. I'll be honest with you. I did too. I ordered one, but I definitely felt like the price was way out. I don't really. I got one because I'm a sucker for the diecast weapons, but I definitely felt like that thing was overpriced. Being yes, we are getting a Wonder Man series, and I heard the rumor that Trevor was coming back, so I feel like Wonder Man is probably going to be kind of more in keeping with like She-Hulk, where it's going to be done more on the kind of not so serious side. The weapon, I thought they were diecast, like just like the San Diego Comic Con set. Was it just vac metal? Honestly, now I feel like I feel ripped off now. If we don't get a U.S. Agent versus War Machine fight in Armor Wars, I'm gonna be upset. I mean, they didn't face off in the original comic, but we got Iron Man versus the Captain, Steve Rogers. So I feel like since Steve Rogers is no longer around, we need a U.S. Agent versus War Machine in the Armor Wars series. Is it just vac? See, I was thinking it was diecast metal. That's what I get for not reading the fine print. They still look pretty good though. But definitely, either way, that set is not worth $150. I was like, I was at first I was like, I'm not gonna get this. It's just not worth $150. And then I caved in the last minute and got one. But I feel like the money I spent was not really justified. So the last time I checked, the set was still available. So it's definitely not like a super fast selling out set like we often see with those Mattel Creation stuff. Stingray. I wouldn't mind seeing Stingray. Now that we're getting to underwater characters like Namor, I definitely feel like we could end up seeing Stingray at some point. Well, we know War Machine's gonna pop up in the Secret Wars series, so yeah, I guess they will be. The secret, like that trailer for the Secret Wars series, like Nick Fury looks like he's like this old burnt out old man. I mean, he hasn't been away from Earth that long, but it was kind of weird to me. Yeah, frustrated fan. I don't know when they're gonna launch that Eternia playset. Uh, fun crowdsourcing. On the Mattel Creation website. I don't know when they're gonna do that. Sometimes Mattel and their marketing is like confusing to me. I mean, you show it off at San Diego, and then what? You wait 3 months later to launch the campaign. I don't know. I guess they're maybe trying to wait closer to the holidays, like they think people are gonna. But to me, because it's not like you're actually gonna have it in hand, it's not like you're gonna get it in time for Christmas. So it's not like something I feel like it's not something somebody would get as a Christmas gift because it's like, oh yeah, I got you that Eternia playset, and you'll get it sometime next year. So I feel like waiting closer to the holidays for something like that is probably not the wisest strategy. But I don't know. I don't know about that, Curtis. I mean, if they do a comic book version of Atuma, then we often when get movie and comic book versions of the character. So I feel like him being in the movie strengthens the possibility of getting a comic version at some point, because then the character becomes more known, and so the sales appeal will only increase the better known the character is. Because there's a lot of people out there who don't know who Tuma is, so and they'll be introduced to the character for the first time in the movie. Now, if he sucks in the movie, I don't know, but increasing the exposure of the character is only a good thing, and in my opinion, only increases the chances of getting something like a comic book version. Yeah. I mean, exactly. Like, oh, here's your little certificate that I got you this Eternia playset. You'll have it in time for next Christmas. Danny, do I think Mattel did a good job with the Grizzlor? I mean, better. I mean, I was able to get Grizzlor on the first day. What was it, Friday? Without any real issue. I mean, I was online when it went up, and I don't know how long. I think it lasted maybe 10, 15 minutes. So, but the fact that they made it again available is like a made to pre-order thing the next day, so you'll have to wait longer to get it. But I think I don't know how long. I forget. I didn't really pay that close attention to the pre-order on Saturday, but I feel like it's at least at the very least a step in the right direction. Um, And they're making the Wonder Bread He-Man figure available again. So again, for those of us who missed out on that one, we'll get another opportunity at it. So yep, just like they did with the original Star Wars figures in the 70s. All right, well, we're getting pretty close to 8:30, so do you got? I think we're probably gonna wrap it up here. Lord Vengar says he missed Koldar. Yeah, I have my. They shipped the Koldar. I have that one. Michael, yeah, the net. I mean, what would be considered the first Disney Plus wave of next year? Yeah, I think we might see some Werewolf by Night figures, but I don't know. I haven't seen any listings for that wave, but we'll see. All right, so yeah, I think we're gonna call it a night. But as always, guys, thanks to everyone who chimed in tonight. Much appreciated. So remember, tomorrow, big HasLab Marvel Legend reveal. I'll throw up a news video tomorrow, so we'll go over all the details of whatever it is. I think Robbie Reyes in his car seems like the most likely outcome, but who knows? Maybe Hasbro will surprise us with something more. Much appreciated, Lord Vengar. Always appreciate with the super chat donations. But yeah, so we'll talk again tomorrow about the live, when everything's announced. But as always, guys, thanks for chiming in tonight, and stay safe out there. Subscribe to the channel, and until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great!